When is the right time to upgrade your track motorcycle, and should you upgrade your machine in search for speed? In this video we're going to go into those exact questions and try and gain a little perspective on the necessity of bike upgrades when searching for improvement out on track. Take a walk down any track day paddock and you won't be too hard pressed to find a raft of well turned out bikes dripping with the latest and greatest bolt-on upgrades from the best names in the business, the ones that wouldn't look out of place on a world superbike grid. Clearly, many hours and even more pennies have gone toward making these bikes look as good as they do, and every credit to the owners for doing it. At the end of the day, these bikes are toys and riders want to make their toy as good as they can so it feels special to them. This I have absolutely no issues with. If people can afford to build and run near international level racing spec machines and they do it simply because they can, good for them. However, what you'll often find with some of these bikes dripping with bike bling is that riders have gone to these lengths in an attempt to get themselves to the front of the pack. I call this the bike bling trap. The quest for upgrades usually starts when a rider hits a plateau or is looking to unlock some easy speed and bring their lap times down. But time and time again they fall into the same trap of thinking that newer, fancier toys and/or motorcycles is what's going to get them there, but the results almost never meet their expectations. Often, riders are then left baffled as to why they haven't been able to slash 5 seconds from their lap times when on paper they should have been able to find that time with ease. The truth is, and I'm sure it's something you're able to guess, the reason they're unable to progress is because of their own abilities, not because the upgrades aren't doing their job properly. The most obvious case of this comes from riders that upgrade from a 600cc bike to 1000. Surely with all those extra ponies the lap times will come tumbling down, right? But as I've witnessed on many occasions now, the rider often ends up going slower than they did on the 600. And with their high expectations not met, the rider is left feeling despondent as well as a little lost. And this is actually one of the reasons why I stuck with my trusty 2004 R6 for as long as I did, and why it was always largely in stock form. I was taught this lesson early on during a conversation with an ex-British superbike rider when talking about my bike on a track day. He told me that riders fall into the trap of thinking that upgrading to the latest and greatest R6, which at the time was the 2006 model onwards, is going to make them better, faster riders, when in reality, a handy rider on that now ancient bike would run rings around almost anyone in a track day paddock. From that moment, I decided that I would always put more weight on learning how I can personally get more from the bike versus a quick fix upgrade. With all of that said, safety has to come to mind too. By no means am I saying that everyone should be riding on ancient bikes until they feel they can get the most out of them. I myself made upgrades to my bikes where I felt it would benefit me on track, and I eventually did upgrade to a 1000cc machine too. If I had the choice between riding on the limit of a 30-year-old bike or riding well within the limit of a newer bike, I know which one I'd pick. Also, like I said up top, some people just like to upgrade their machines to the hilt and get them looking like thoroughbred race machines simply because they can, and they're under no illusions that they can't fully utilise them. What I'm getting at here is that I don't want anyone to fall into the trap of thinking that upgrading their machine or moving to something bigger and better is going to solve all your issues and unlock you a ton of speed. Because for the majority of riders that doesn't happen. If you've found that you've hit a plateau and you aren't making the sort of stride you want, machine upgrades likely won't get you through those core issues. So what's a better investment? Now, I'm sure you can guess where this is going being on this channel, but if you do want to spend hundreds, if not thousands, on sorting your issues, then I would recommend that you consider learning and coaching to be the #1 option for you. No upgrade in component or bike is going to help you see better, take a better line, lean the bike more, or get on the power harder if your confidence and ability to do that isn't there in the first place. For riders struggling to improve, upgrades are a band-aid fix, not a cure more often than not. Knowledge and practice is by far the best route to progress for learning riders. Serious performance upgrades, I feel, are something that should come later down the line when you feel you're starting to get close to what the bike can do and you don't want to go any closer. And I know there'll be many different views on this topic, but for me personally it falls very much in line with my view on going for super sticky race rubber right out of the gate. So because of all of the above, I like to view sizable performance upgrades more as something that you simply take pleasure from, not really a way of supplying a solution so that you can break down a riding barrier. What are your views on bike upgrades and what has been your experience with making them? Tell us about it in the comments down below, and as always, if you like the video then please hit the button and subscribe to the channel for more performance riding advice and guides moving forward. Outside of that, I'll see you in the next one.